let's talk about a bit the psychology of mindfulness and the concept of the monkey mind. It is normal and it is natural for the mind to project forward, ruminate on the past, or wander aimlessly. The mind thinks involuntarily, and asking your mind or expecting your mind to stop thinking is like asking the heart to stop beating. That's not possible, right? And just because the thoughts project, analyze, and wander, it does not mean that there is anything wrong at all. It is a completely natural thing for the mind to wander, and it is called the repeating circle of mindfulness. This is a circle each one of us go through, no matter if practicing an intentional mindfulness practice and exercises, a formal mindfulness practice, or experiencing informal mindfulness. Let me show you something. That's the circle of the mindfulness process. It begins with a self-directed focus. That self-directed focus that self-directed focus could be an external action, external sensation, like washing the dishes, for example, and noticing the warm water on your hands. It can be internal, like noticing your breath, a thought, or contemplating a specific thought. Once in a self-directed focus, the next thing that happens is that our mind goes off. It starts to wander. So it can be like projecting forward, thinking about a future action that is yet to arise, and the probable emotion or emotions and feelings coming from that. Or also can start ruminating on the past, bringing anxiety about things we could have done or should have done or shouldn't have done. So our minds are selective, meaning we are not very often in the present moment unless we decide to have a self-directed focus. Now let's use an example so you understand this better. Let's do a mindful meditation, which is a self-directed focus practice. When you are mindfully meditating, you're observing your breath, specifically in this exercise that we're going to do in a second. So you begin with a self-directed focus. That's above at 12 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, your mind starts to wander. Maybe you start thinking about an upcoming event that arises, particular feelings, maybe of excitement, maybe of anxiety, or just your mind goes to a la la land and not even noticing what these thoughts are. So the mind has the ability to produce thousands of thoughts each minute. Then later at 6 o'clock of the circular cycle of mindfulness, after the first step, the mind in 3 o'clock, your mind starts to wander. Like I mentioned, the mind has the ability to produce thousands of thoughts each minute. Then in 6 o'clock of the cycle of mindfulness, you start noticing that your mind is wandering. And this is a key point of mindfulness, because at this moment of noticing, what precisely happens is that you are engaged in a mindfulness practice, building your mindfulness muscle. And that is when, let me come back, and that is when you are able to guide your mind back at 9 o'clock at the circle, guiding your attention back to what is in front of you. We all have experienced that watching a training like this one, for example, yet we do that unintentionally and unconsciously. And when you start building up that intentionally, that is developing your mindfulness muscle through consistent practice. It's the same like going to the gym, building up your physical body, physical muscles, or doing other type of exercises for that matter. The more you practice, the shorter the time between wonder and notice gets, until you realize that your mind is in a self-directed focus most of the time. That's when the effort turns into ease. Now let's get to the exercise, the 3-minute breath meditation. Now, so we'll go through that 3-minute breath meditation practice, so you can deepen your understanding of this cycle. Now sit in a comfortable position and relax. Relax your shoulders. Put one of your hands on your tummy and the other on your sides, something like this. Where is that? So you can feel it when you breathe. When you breathe, you have to feel the movement with your hand. Put one of your hands on your tummy and the other on your side. Recognize your breath as it flows in your body while you inhale, and as it flows out when you exhale. Notice how the breath feels when it flows through your nose. Notice how it fills your lungs. Inhale fully through your diaphragm. Notice the sensation in your hand while your tummy fills with air. Hold it for a second. And release, noticing the sensation in your hand. Notice as you breathe, as your breath travels through your body, from your nose to the tummy, fills your lungs, and exits from your mouth. Repeat that cycle again. And as you repeat the cycle, notice the sensations of your breath. Now I'm going to be silent while you repeat the cycle for a few more minutes, focusing on your breath. And as your mind starts to wander, perhaps already has, notice that your mind is wandering. And in that moment of noticing, gently direct it back to your breath. Do that one more minute. Now, you may ask, okay, how often should I practice this? Well, as I mentioned already, it is like building up your physical body muscles, supported with physical exercises. You don't go to the gym once and then you're ready, fixed and finished. This is a consistent practice. You can do that once a day. You can do that 3 times a week. You can do that even every day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. What's more important? Approach it with an open awareness and without judgment. Acknowledge your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Ask yourself, what am I experiencing right now? And pay attention to that. Widen your attention, expand your awareness to include your whole body and all physical sensations while practicing. Maintain a sense of curiosity and kindness toward yourself. Mindfulness is not about forcing your mind to stay in one place and not wander. This will literally give you a headache. Mindfulness is about being aware of when the mind is wandering, and as fast and as gently as you can, redirecting your attention to what is in front of you and important to you at that moment, the here and now of your life unfolding. So let me ask you something. What would be different in your life if you had just 10% increase in attention and focus? Think about that for a second. Write it down and if you feel like, share it with me.